The biggest mistake you can make after landing a great profit partner is assuming they're just going to figure it out. This isn't a closer, it's a builder, and every builder needs a blueprint. In this episode, I'm walking you through the exact 30, 60, and 90-day ramp-up plan that I use to onboard profit partners. So they're generating revenue, recruiting reps, and running your entire sales department by the third month. So congratulations, you landed a killer profit partner. They're smart, they're motivated, and more importantly, they're aligned with your vision. Now what? This is where most founders actually drop the ball. They just throw the partner into the fire with no plan, no data, and no onboarding flow. Then later on, they wonder why they are not getting any results. Without structure, even the best partners will stall. So if you want to turn that partner into the driver of your revenue machine, then this is the plan you need. By the end of this episode, you're going to have a complete 30, 60, and 90-day onboarding plan for new profit partners that you bring into your business, milestones to track so you don't micromanage, but also don't go dark, and finally, a framework that will turn closers into strategic operators. My name is Dylan Starr, and this is the Sell for Scale podcast. So as always, if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I mention the word profit partner, please go back to the beginning of the podcast. Make sure you're listening to the episodes in order so you're caught up to speed. So I want to tell you a story about a founder that I worked with who thought he found the perfect profit partner. In fact, I'm the one who even recommended the individual that he was to use. They had great experience, great energy together, and both of them came with tons of ideas to the table. He was really pumped, gave them access to the offer, some lead data, and literally said, hey, go run with it. Guess what happened next? Complete crickets. 2 weeks later, the profit partner was actually frustrated. The founder was, of course, disappointed, and the revenue completely flatlined. But here's the thing. The problem wasn't actually the profit partner. It was the complete lack of ramp-up structure. So we came in and installed a simple 30-day onboarding roadmap, and within 90 days, they had a full outbound and inbound script and system. They were closing deals personally. And finally, they were ready to start doing weekly calls and hire their first 2 new reps. And that's how you activate a profit partner. But here's the thing. Having an onboarding plan doesn't just matter with profit partners. Of course, it matters with anyone that you bring into your business. Closers, setters, leadership. Having a structured plan to get people caught up to speed and ramped up is literally the thing that will make or break the success of a new hire or a new partner. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, 69% of new hires are more likely to stay 3+ years if they have a structured 90-day onboarding plan. Sales Management Association found that companies with 30, 60, and 90-day onboarding plans see as high as 50% faster productivity from new hires. And in high-performing sales environments, leaders who receive a roadmap hit key revenue targets 2 times faster than those who never receive anything. Structure equals speed, and speed equals cash. Now, I want to address something for a second. Most people, when they hear onboarding, this is what they think. They think, let's just give them access to a CRM and give them access to Slack, and they're good to go. But if you want your profit partner, or heck, even your team, to sell, build, hire, and scale a team, then you need a real plan, one that builds skill, trust, and ownership. This isn't a 3-day orientation. It's a 3-month runway to full ownership. So here's the profit partner 30, 60, and 90-day framework that I use with all of my clients. Month 1 is all about building and validating. This covers a deep dive into your offer, who your avatars are with the buyer psychology, and of course, the objections that go along with each different buyer persona. This means writing and refining your entire sales script, inbound and outbound. It means start taking calls and closing manually. And finally, it means identifying lead sources and cleaning up your CRM for tracking purposes. You never want to bring a new member on and have your entire CRM a mess and chaotic. That's going to take a lot of upfront work to go through and fix and really just kink the speed of the entire process for anyone you bring into your organization. Trust me, I see this happen all the time, and it is an absolute nightmare. The entire goal of the first month is simply to understand what your message is and to validate the market and the system. All right, now month two. Month two is just document and systematize. This is where you're going to record successful calls for training purposes. Literally have all your most successful calls laid out on a document for anyone to go and review. This is where you finalize your pitch deck or your sales page assets. This is where you create SOPs for inbound, outbound, and of course, follow-up. And finally, begin training a new rep or an assistant setter. The entire goal of the second month is to codify what works into a repeatable process. All right, month three. This is all about leading and scaling. You want to hire 1 to 2 setters or closers and start team onboarding. You're going to want to start running team huddles, KPI tracking, and of course, call reviews. This is also the best time to start testing outbound lead sources at scale. And finally, move into forecasting and compensation plan structure with the founder of the business. The goal of this month is to go from rep to revenue team leader. So if you have a profit partner or you plan on bringing one in eventually, then make sure you build this ramp up plan before you ever have them start. Even a simple outline in Google or Notion can give them easy structure to follow. Remember, clarity and ownership always beats chaos and hope. Now, I know I threw a lot at you. If you want an actual structured 30, 60, 90-day template that you can just give to profit partners, I've already created one for you that you can use. If you're listening to this on audio, just go to Instagram or LinkedIn and DM me the word ramp and I'll send it over to you. If you're tuning in on YouTube, just go down to the comments, type in the word ramp and I'll send it over to you. And if this episode helped bring structure to your vision, then subscribe and share it with a founder or sales leader that you respect. All right, so we have covered a lot on the podcast so far up to this point. We've covered the frameworks to use. We've covered who to partner with. We've covered how to set up a system to where people can actually sell themselves to you and your organization so you're ready for scaling. And then we got into profit partners, right? Well, once you get a profit partner and they're ramped up and they're actually closing, then it's time to build out an entire team underneath them. And building out a team requires hiring. In the next episode, I'm breaking down how to hire sales reps like a funnel and not a gamble. You're going to learn how we scaled a sales team up to 50 plus closers without ever using recruiters, and how to filter for coachability over flash. And finally, why the best closers usually fail when they're not built for your system. If you have ever hired the wrong rep and paid for it later, then you're going to want to make sure that you tune in to this next episode. See you in the next one.